What's up guys, it's me, Straw Hat Nate, and I'm back with another Boruto video this month. We got Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 5, titled Target, and this chapter is titled that because it reveals who all of the Shinju's targets are. And this is basically setting up all the future fights that'll happen in 2 Blue Vortex. It doesn't only set up future fights though. The chapter also teaches us about past fights, like what went on within the Timeskip with Boruto's training and then their fight with Code. And it all ended with a wholesome, emotional scene that I won't spoil just yet. I think this month's chapter is pretty good, so let's get right into it after you like and subscribe. The cover this month is actually Sasuke, and he's standing in front of the tree that he's actually inside right now in the current story. And this is actually the first time we're getting to see Sasuke post time skip where he's not actually in a tree. So we begin in the forest within one of the years of the 3-year time skip, probably near the beginning. And it must have been a little bit of time at least, because Boruto has like super long hair, like it's almost as long as Sasuke at this point. And obviously he wants to be just like Sasuke, so he would make his hairstyle just like him. And Boruto's training with his sword, and then they finish up their sword training and they just have a conversation. And Boruto jokingly says that he's got to be like almost done with his training. He's already mastered all of Sasuke's fighting techniques. And Sasuke surprisingly tells him, even though Boruto was just joking at first, Sasuke tells him that he actually has mastered almost everything, which shows how much of a prodigy Boruto really is. And Sasuke eventually alludes to the fact that Boruto has to either perfect all the moves that he was taught, or he has to create moves of his own based around what he has been taught. So that's probably what Uzuhiko stemmed from. And Sasuke says Boruto, just like his father Naruto, has the determination to succeed, and he tells him that he and Sarada are the only people capable of dealing with the issue of Code in the future, so they must become stronger. And then they have a smash cut straight to the major fight with Code and his claw grimes versus Sasuke and Boruto. And we see here that Code lost his eye via Sasuke now, and all three of them here have only one eye, which is kind of funny. And Sasuke wants Boruto to run because he needs Boruto alive for the future, but Boruto refuses to abandon his master here. And Sasuke tells him that they can't win, not even with the two of them combined. So Sasuke just goes off to attack alone because he doesn't want Boruto risking his life. Sasuke charges in with a lightning cloaked sword, and that's when it quickly cuts to the end of the fight, where there's just a tree standing. And as we know, Sasuke got beat and was put inside of the tree. So Boruto takes his sword here as a tribute to Sasuke, because he will always fight for him. And Boruto, from this point on in the time skip, probably likely trained alone, or he trained with Kashi and Koji now that his master Sasuke is in a tree. We then cut to the present, where Boruto is standing over Konoha just watching, and on the streets we actually see a tree with Moegi inside. Moegi being the sensei of Ina Shikacho and Konohamaru's friend. And the theory where Moegi is the female Shinju is probably correct because of her being inside of a tree. And Konohamaru and Team Ina Shikacho arrive on the scene and look at the tree, and they're remorsing over their friend and master respectively. Konohamaru will work with the team now to get her back, which is kind of like destiny, because actually Ina Shikacho has always been led by a Sarutobi in the past. As we know from Naruto's generation, their generation of Ina Shikacho was led by Asuma, a Sarutobi. So Konohamaru, another Sarutobi, will lead them. So it pans back to Moegi here, and it quickly cuts then to the female Shinju, pretty much confirming that they're like the same. She is sensing Ina Shikacho and Konohamaru from her location in the Ten Tails dimension, which the leader of the Shinju, the one that looks like Jian, says is proof of her awareness and her emotions. And this is their first time experiencing independent consciousness, so it's strange for all of these Shinju. And he calls her by the name Matsuri, so that's what I'll call her from now on. That's the name of the Moegi Shinju. And the leader Shinju says that he now has an instinctual desire to devour Naruto Uzumaki, which will be his target, as the chapter is titled. And back in Konoha, Ada is seeing this, and she's confused why Naruto is being targeted. And the bug Shinju is also confused, so he asked the leader Shinju why, since Naruto isn't like an Otsutsuki, so they don't really need him. And the leader blames it on their different evolution is bringing about a different motivation within them. And he tells the others to find their target too. He encourages this. Matsuri is the first to say her target, which is Konohamaru Sarutobi, which makes a bit more sense than the Naruto one because Moegi and Konohamaru are really connected. And Sasuke Shinju finally speaks up here, saying the leader's name, Jura, so I'll refer to him as Jura from now on. And he asks what they are, like physically. Jura simply says not to worry about this because their physical being ultimately doesn't matter. It's all about their motive. And Jura seems the wisest and probably the most important of the Shinju because of these conversations that he's having. So I imagine he'll play a bigger role than the rest later on. And Ada is peeping in on them still, and then the bug Shinju somehow miraculously sees through her clairvoyance, which is just crazy. He's literally seeing Ada seeing him. And he decides here that his target will be Ada. He's absolutely grossed out by this, and I would be too, because the bug Shinju is actually gross. And lastly, the Sasuke Shinju establishes his target, which will be Sarada Uchiha, his kinda somewhat daughter. And back in Konoha again, Amado and Sumire are working, and they know Boruto's return. I'm gonna go through this scene quickly because I don't understand it completely yet. But Amado, he has doubts now of his own memories because he found evidence that literally disproves his own thoughts. And he explains that he realizes that he was the one who put the karma on Kawaki because it's clearly his work. And Kawaki's karma contains Akebi's data, Akebi being Amado's dead daughter that he's trying to get back. And because Amado's a scientist, he believes that the physical evidence proves that his memory has been altered, which he would be correct about. And in short, Amado is just a genius for figuring this out. And Sai and Shikamaru are watching from the Hokage's office, and this possibly hints at Shikamaru's involvement with Amado to figure out how to break this spell, since Shikamaru is another genius. And the last scene of the chapter is Sarada and Sumire talking about Amado's revelation. And Sarada mentions that the power was so strong that when people were shown a photo of Boruto and Naruto together, like long ago when Boruto was like a really young kid, they don't even believe the photo. So most people are incapable of even breaking the spell. And Sarada points out that Sasuke did break the spell, so there is hope. But besides this, Boruto then walks up to the girls, talking about his appreciation for Sasuke's help. And in this impactful moment, Sarada runs over and hugs Boruto for a solid 4 pages of the chapter to show the emphasis of this moment. And Sumire is just left behind, sadly, while Sarada takes in all the spotlight. And Boruto tells Sarada that he's home now. And that's the end of the chapter. It was another solid chapter by Kishimoto, and I think that Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is 5 for 5 at this point. And Boruto and Sasuke's training was cool to see, but I think that the more important moment to see was the moment of Sasuke's sacrifice when fighting Code. So it was cool to see that. And the reveal of all the Shinju's targets, along with some of their names too, like Matsuri and Jura, are probably setting up the future. I can already imagine the fight between like Jura and Naruto taking center stage, because that would be probably a crazy battle. And Sarada, she seems to be playing a major role in all of this, because she's involved in like pretty much every aspect of the Boruto plot. So it's nice to see that she has a big role. And it's hard to even think about what next chapter will bring, but it'll probably be great anyway, like all the other chapters so far. So if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe because it'll help me out very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.